2022 has truly been the year of memorable returns in WWE. From Stone Cold Steve Austin returning to the ring at WrestleMania 38 to Bray Wyatt finally reappearing in WWE at Extreme Rules, it's been a historic year. Whilst returns such as Austin's and Wyatt's were known about in advance, there were also those returns which completely caught fans off guard. There were hardly any leaks in relation to the return, and as a result, fans were genuinely surprised to see that specific wrestler return to the ring. Join us now as Wrestlelamia looks at 10 2022 WWE returns nobody saw coming. Be sure to subscribe and hit that notification bell for daily wrestling videos, and follow us on Facebook for exclusive lists. Also check out our new channel, Wrestlelamia Shorts. Number 10. Ivory. Fans were stunned during the 2022 Women's Royal Rumble when the Right to Censor theme song played and Ivory graced fans with her presence. Before her Rumble appearance, Ivory only had appeared once in WWE since 2003, and that was at the Evolution pay-per-view in a Battle Royal. Nobody knew that Ivory was going to appear or that she was going to bring back the infamous RTC persona. This was great to see, and Ivory quite rightly received a fantastic reaction from the audience, who evidently had fond memories of one of the most gifted female talents in WWE history. Number 9. Bad Bunny. Now, in terms of celebrities crossing over to the world of pro wrestling, Bad Bunny truly changed the game. Bunny brought a level of respect and appreciation for the world of WWE like no one before, and his debut match was without question one of the most impressive celebrity matches WWE has ever delivered. It's rather common for WWE fans to resent celebrities getting involved in WWE, but Bunny was the exception. His in-ring work was so great that fans were clamoring for him to have another match, and they got their wish at the 2022 Royal Rumble. Bunny would enter the match as a surprise at number 27 and even eliminated two former world champions in Sheamus and Dolph Ziggler before he was thrown out by Brock Lesnar. His 7 minutes in the match were some of the most entertaining parts of a lackluster Rumble, and Bunny once again left an incredibly positive impression on the entire WWE fanbase. Number 8. Dexter Loomis. Dexter Loomis was released from WWE in April of 2022 for undisclosed reasons. Although it was heavily rumored that Vince McMahon believed that Loomis was too old, this was never actually confirmed. Upon taking over WWE Creative, Triple H decided to bring Loomis back into the mix, and his return would come as a complete surprise. During a match between The Miz and AJ Styles on Raw, a hooded man would try to get over the barricade before he was stopped by security, and this individual happened to be Loomis himself. This was a smart reintroduction to his character, as there was a ton of intrigue surrounding him, which is always a good sign when it comes to pro wrestling characters. Now, it's clear that Triple H is a big fan of Loomis and his character, and the future is definitely bright for one of the WWE's more unique characters. Number 7. Johnny Gargano. When Johnny Gargano decided to step back from pro wrestling in 2021, he wanted to assess his options before he made the decision to sign for a specific company. However, upon hearing the news that Triple H was now in charge of creative, it was simply a no-brainer for Gargano. The Game and Gargano had a brilliant relationship during their time working in NXT, and Gargano instantly decided to re-sign with WWE. He'd be called up to the main roster and would make his surprise return to Raw in August to the delight of fans in the attendance, as well as those watching at home. Since his triumphant return, he's been firmly presented as one of the top babyface talents on the show, and this is likely to continue as WWE enters 2023. Number 6. Molina. One of the standout female talents at WWE between 2005 to 2011 was Molina. She was a great in-ring talent, and she had a great connection with the fans. Fans had been campaigning for a Molina return for years, and the 2022 Royal Rumble was when it finally happened. Molina would enter the match at number 2 to an enormous reaction. Nobody knew in advance that Molina was going to be a surprise entrant, so it was truly wonderful to see the reaction to a well-executed surprise. Although Molina would only last 53 seconds in the match, she showed fans that she still had it, and since her Rumble return, there's been a push on social media for WWE to bring her back for one final run. Number 5. Damage Control. Following Bianca Belair's victory over Becky Lynch at SummerSlam, Bayley finally made a return to WWE. She had been out of action for over a year with an injury, and there were no reports leading up to the event that Bayley would make a return. Bayley wasn't alone though, as she would be joined by the returning Dakota Kai, who fans had believed was completely done with WWE, but Triple H had decided to hire her back in exchange for a run on the main roster. Alongside Bayley and Kai was one of the most decorated female talents in WWE, Io Sky aka Io Shirai. There were substantial rumors that Sky was leaving WWE, so this was also a huge shock that Sky wasn't just back in WWE, but she had joined forces with Bayley and Kai. Number 4. Karrion Cross. It wouldn't be an unfair statement to claim that Karrion Cross was mistreated so much during his initial main roster run. Vince McMahon completely butchered Cross's character so much that his character was irredeemable and Cross was released from the company. Triple H decided to bring back Cross in early August, albeit with his old NXT presentation, and Triple H would instantly present Cross as a credible and legitimate foe. Cross's return was unexpected as Cross would interrupt a segment between Roman Reigns and Drew McIntyre, attacking McIntyre in the process. What was so great about Cross's return was that his manager Scarlett was by his side, so this wasn't just one surprise return, it was two. Following Cross's return, Cross would embark on a feud with McIntyre and the two would collide in a strap match at Extreme Rules. Cross is evidently one of Triple H's personal favourite talents and he could be in line for a huge push as the new year approaches. Number 3. John Cena. For the majority of 2022, it appeared that WWE's franchise player John Cena wouldn't be stepping foot in a WWE ring. However, on the December 16th edition of SmackDown, it was announced by Cena himself in a special pre-taped message that on 30th December he would be teaming with Kevin Owens to take on Roman Reigns and Sami Zayn on SmackDown. This was a huge deal as Cena will keep his historic record intact, which relates to Cena working a match at least once a year for the past 2 decades. Cena's return to the square circle was a great cause for celebration for fans, and Cena's return showed that he's still one, if not the biggest WWE stars of all time. Upon WWE announcing Cena's return, they sold over 4,000 extra tickets for SmackDown, solidifying the former world champion's drawing power. Number 2. Triple H. In 2021, Triple H shared the news that he had suffered from heart failure and a defibrillator had to be installed on his chest. This threw the game's WWE status up in the air as he needed to step away from his corporate role for the time being, but he was also forced to retire from in-ring competition indefinitely. There was concern for the game, but thankfully at WrestleMania 38, the WWE audience got a surprise they never saw coming. As the second night of WrestleMania 38 got underway, Triple H's music hit to a nuclear ovation. The game would introduce Night 2 of WrestleMania before putting his boots in the middle of the ring, signaling his official in-ring retirement. This was a wholesome surprise as fans had no idea that Triple H was going to be involved in WrestleMania in any capacity. But months after Triple H's WrestleMania return, he took on a ton of responsibility, and as things stand, Triple H has never had more power in WWE as he's currently the Chief Content Officer for WWE. And number 1, Cody Rhodes. Now in early 2022, internet rumors began to circulate surrounding Cody Rhodes potentially returning to WWE. A strong portion of the fan base don't believe these rumors as it seemed unfeasible that the AEW executive would jump ship to WWE. However, it actually happened. Rhodes would be the surprise opponent for Seth Rollins at WrestleMania 38 in genuinely one of the most shocking moments in WrestleMania history. Upon his return, he was instantly presented as one of the top babyfaces in the company. Rhodes had an acclaimed feud with Rollins before tearing his pectoral muscle, placing him on the injured list. When he eventually returns, the WWE will likely pick off where they left off, and a title run is potentially on the horizon of one of the founding members of AEW. But there you have it folks, 10 WWE returns in 2022 that nobody saw coming. Be sure to leave your comments down below, and I'll see you next time with some more wrestling content.